Hello, everyone. Sorry about video. I cannot get video on my... Now I've entered the new world of my Mac getting old, and now the video camera keeps going down. I have to keep restarting to get the video camera back. So I apologize for that. But I'm here, and I'm going to pull up the page so we can get right to it.
Hi, everyone.
All right. That's not what I want. This is what I want. And photos. All right. Here we go. We should have our folks in here now. I need to share something with everybody here because you're going to have to go fix it if you were one of the people who did it. I always make the albums. Somebody made a new album. I don't know who made a new album, but there's 12 photographs in here. These photographs will not get reviewed if they don't get moved over to this album, Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific Preview. Now, if you're listening right now, just go get your images and attach them to this album. I'll refresh it and we'll have them to review. And I'll remind everybody in about 20 minutes again, in case somebody wasn't here. So if your pictures are in here, we've looked at this one already. We've looked at that one. So if your pictures are here on the screen in front of me, you need to get them moved to the right album. That's this one, assignment 3, product, Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific Review. Bada boom, here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Don.
Yes.
Hey, so I thought I could make the earlier one, but I didn't. May I move a photo from the 3 o'clock to the 5 o'clock?
Absolutely, Tom.
Cool, thank you.
Yep, we reviewed your image anyway.
Oh.
But that's all right. No, move it over. You're here live. Great.
I did the same thing, Don, just because I forgot noon.
Yep, not a problem. Move it
So
over.
I already put it in this one. It's on the bottom.
Okay, and I'll refresh this page here in about 20 minutes. We'll see if we can get everybody in. All right, first one up here is Mario. Is Mario here? Mario? Okay. Would you remind me to come back to Mario, guys? I'm going to come back. I know he's going to be here because he's asked me several times when the meeting was. So I will come back to Mario and get him. All right. Next one up here is Mr. Valdez. Are you here, sir? All right. All right. So we got 2 that we haven't seen. All right. Well, I will come back to both of those in short order. I want to get somebody and get talking so we can get some time for people to come in. This shot is Jim Hill. Jim, you here?
Some of us are here, Don.
What's that?
Some of us are here.
I can see that.
Jim was here, Don, and maybe the same thing happened to him as happened to me. I was signed on, and then it gave me a thing saying I needed to do an update, and it knocked me off.
Oh, okay.
I had to sign back on twice before it would let me back on, so Jim may have had the same problem.
Okay. Well, let's see if Jim gets on here then. We'll wait and we'll come back to these folks, see if they got it. We've got John McAllister, though. John, are you here?
I'm here. How you doing,
John's
Don?
here. Wow, man, that's a nice shot. Totally unexpected angle for it.
I didn't go into it thinking I'd shoot it at that angle. I thought I'd like to get the front guard because it had the embossed or etched logo in there, but I wasn't until I started shooting it. I didn't really.
Well,
It's not the prettiest of things to photograph. It's lots of odd angles and
yeah, and they're all there for a reason, you know, like the guard and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
I like what you did with the light. I like the highlights that you have running. The highlights that run through this thing so nicely through here,
Mm.
here. We got a little soft highlight here. Then we got a little bit of a sharper one going soft. These are the things where you're moving the eye through the highlights that are so clean. That's really nicely done. And we didn't lose anything from down here in the black. Didn't lose any detail at all. It's all there.
Yeah.
We got a back behind the scenes.
Yeah, next one, yeah.
Oh,
So you
wow.
never would have guessed. Strange. Yeah, so I've got one softbox at the moment, and I've got a couple of speed lights. So
I take it you're not at home.
I'm at home, but my studio's been taken over as an office, and everything's boxed up, and everything is in the way
Ah,
to get to anything. So yeah, this is my dining room.
well, I think that this should be your new studio, and you guys eat in the kitchen.
Yeah, it is at the moment.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Did you have to do much photoshopping to get that background?
Yeah, the background is totally in. So cut the whole thing out and just
Got it.
put a background in there. A little bit of in the picture you got the guard on the blade. I didn't want to cut anyone while walking around. But actually there was no decent. The light was coming off that whiteboard above, but it wasn't giving that highlight that like you see. So I added that in Photoshop as well.
Yeah, you never want to call the emergency room with an unfortunate chainsaw accident. It's just
Not at the moment, you don't.
no, not a good thing.
No.
I love all your light and your boards, and we can see how careful attention on those boards just did a beautiful job with this.
Yeah,
Really-
just those whiteboards. We just had that. You know, the whiteboards above was taking the light from below because I didn't have another softbox. So I was just using that as a the main light.
Sure.
The one on the left of camera is really adding that kicker in. And then there's a little whiteboard on the right, which is just adding a bit into the back. It's actually fallen down there. It was actually up on the right hand side. Yeah, just to add in a bit of light at the back. So quite simple lighting, but would have been easier in my studio, of course. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice to have a challenge. I've not done photography for a while, so yeah, I enjoyed
very
that.
good. It's very good. Very good. Appreciate it, John.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back and see if we've got Mario here. Mario, you here? Mr. Valdez is here because I see him right up there. Umberto, how are
Yes,
you?
I am here. I had a problem connecting, but I'm finally here.
Okay. Your light is doing a nice job with this this cover that you're using here, the Jeep cover, and your tools, your wrenches, all beautifully lit up from that top back light. So we're getting highlights even when the wrenches fall towards us. We're getting that highlight. You got a nice big box up here, or something, a scrim or something, and we've got something up front that's doing a nice job on this label. I want to see what that is. Let's see. Okay. what do we do? Okay, there's your backlight, top backlight, doing a nice job with this and the bottle and such, and the wrenches. What's lighting up the label?
Okay, what I did, as I don't know how to use Photoshop, I made a double exposure. The first one, as you just described, with the top soft light, and a second shot, 2 seconds duration with a light, hand light. So it's a double exposure.
Okay, so it's a double exposure. Not you didn't do it in Photoshop.
No,
Okay,
all in camera.
it's pretty darn nice.
Thank you very much.
Pretty darn nice.
Thank you.
As Kevin just posted, old school workaround. Yep, that's exactly how we did it shooting film. Right there.
I need to learn how to use Photoshop.
Yes.
But I managed how to do it this time.
Yes, very nice. This is really clean. Humberto's a nice, clean shot. You did great with it. You even kept a little line right along the back of that thing, and that's so important. Now, you lost it coming down here, but we're not going to kill you about that because you got it up there. You're fine. Little highlight right in there. Catching these design things coming down the side here. Little details. Really, really nice. Well done, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you.
And Jim Hill. Jim, you back? Jim? Can someone up here connect with Jim and let him know that to come back? I think he thinks something was bounced off. I appreciate it.
Hello.
Who's this?
Sorry about that, Don. Checking the audio. I apologize.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Next one up. Boy, that looks pretty. Whose is this? Kev Richardson. Kev, are you here? All right, well, what's really good about this, we kept this nice up there. He's got clean highlights all the way through, clean highlights all the way through here. The unit itself stands apart very, very well. Super beautiful light down the side, and we can see the texture in this. And then as it comes around the front, it looks to me like it's changed texture quite a bit. That texture and that texture and that texture is not this side texture. That is very cool. Kevin, are you here? All right. This is a super well done shot. Super well done, sir. All right. Jim.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Okay, so you've got, these are what, some sort of work lights? Is that what they are?
Yeah, they're two LED work lights.
Okay, and that's the LED right there?
That's correct.
Okay. How bright are these things?
They're 750 lumens,
Okay.
or 10 watts.
Yeah, but we're, when you're used to working with tungsten lights, 10 watts LED doesn't equal 10 watts tungsten.
Yeah.
Because 10 watts tungsten's nothing. It's practically dark, where I know these things are pretty bright. I wish they would have, when they came up with the LEDs, they would have had some sort of universal way of understanding how bright things are. Someone tried to sell me a 10-watt light, I'd pretty much go, yeah, right, get real. But I know these are pretty bright. Very cool. You chose a very bright piece of wood for the background. Why did you do that?
Well, I had a shiny piece of background there, and there's just too much reflections. I just went with that.
The reason I asked is that this wood is so bright, and there's so much brightness in these things here. We lose them into the background. We got great side light going on here to give us all this detail in here, and I like that. But if this was burned down a little bit, this wood, I think you'd have a better image in that these would pop out a little more. So are you good in Photoshop, sir?
No, I use Lightroom.
Okay. Then in Lightroom, pull your neutral density thing down to about here, and just a little bit darker. That gradient tool comes right down here, so it'll be gradient, and then mask away the item. That'll work. That'll work. We don't want to make this so dark that it looks like you did it, deliberately. We want it to look natural. And there's your light. Yeah. Another way to get that to darken in the background is to take you've got a fill card here, but take a fill card and use it as a flag. So you bring it out right here. Right here, and bring it forward a little bit like this. And we just block off that light from hitting this side of the background. And then you bring it, you don't hide the product, so the light still hits the product and all of the product here. It just gives it a brighter look to that background. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. I'll give that a try, actually.
Yeah, good. Good. All right, did we miss anybody else up here? Is Mario here yet? Okay, moving on. We've seen John's, and we've seen this one, and we've got this one is, okay. That's really clever. The snoot getting the side of this thing, and then this coming through a scrim. For Kevin Richardson. Really well done, Kevin. Really well done. Ooh, these are pretty. Kit. Hi, Kit. Did you focus stack these?
I did 2 shots.
We really like them. I love old tools. And your composition is great. Really, really great.
Thanks. I kind of thought you'd like the tools.
Yeah, I love old tools like that. They're just really, really cool. Where did you find those?
When my dad died, I got a box of, like an old toolbox, and I just dug in there looking for stuff, and that's what I found.
Yeah, I see these things as pieces of art. I really do. I mean, to think the things that were built with these items. Wow, these guys have really seen a lot of use too.
Mm-hmm. I think they're older than I am.
Yeah, they're really cool, Kit. Really cool. Looks like a big box on top.
It's window light. It's in the comments, but I put a scrim in front of a window and then another little scrim close to the wrenches.
Oh, okay. So you're double scrimming. You got a light behind this scrim and then a down on top of them here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like that soft light.
Well, it's beautifully soft. It's beautifully soft. This would make a great print. It would make a beautiful print. Really, it looks sharp all the way through. Everything is sharp. I love the way that the raised metal letters work. That's just great. Good
Thanks.
job, sir. Good job. Just cool. I want to say to everyone, if any of you have something to do, I mean, I know there's life goes on, and you need to get away, just let me know in the chat, and we'll get you next, or we'll get you real soon so you can step away. Last week we had some people had to leave before they got their pictures reviewed, and we don't necessarily have to have that. We're happy to make accommodations for whatever there is, although there's probably not much. No soccer games and choir concerts, but still family things. If anything you need, let me know. Audie Neighbors, is Audie here?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you, sir?
Doing real well, and it's nice to speak to you for the first time.
Nice to meet you. It's a really well lit tool. I like what you did, pure black, so it's almost classic. It's almost like a piece of classic sculpture. You've made it, and I really like. I'm always looking for details, Audie. I'm always looking for the little things that make the shot, and having these little lights coming away from the center that really set that off beautifully. I also like this little highlight that runs down the top here and around the front. That's very cool. And all the details that the designer built into this, you're showing us. We see them all.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
What lens did you use?
I used a 60 macro Nikon.
Ah, great lens.
Mhm.
Great lens.
Yes,
is
that's my go-to.
Is there behind the scenes? Yep,
Yeah.
there is. Big silk across the top. Nicely done. This card over here. Oh, look at the cards down here too. Look at that.
Yeah,
then
I
you
was
just
trying
remove
to
the
get
cards,
the
right?
light back up into the front of the handle.
Yeah, that card that's sitting over here is this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Then they showed up in the photo, so I photoshopped them out for the final.
Yeah, great. So you knew what the shot was going to look like before you did it.
I did have something in my mind, but to be quite honest about it, I am really flabbergasted by some of the other photos that showed up in the set.
Hey, Kevin Creighton, are you there?
I am here.
Do you see this?
Yeah, old school Norman 200B.
What is that? You got a Norman?
That's a Norman.
Oh.
I picked it up. Yeah, I picked it up at an estate sale with $27.
Oh man.
Those were Alien Bees before Alien Bees were cool.
Yes. Yeah, I had two of them.
Yeah.
I had two of them.
Yeah, and I did.
They had a 400 watt second when I had one of those too for a short time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was. I tell you, I was really floored when I went to this estate sale and saw that they had this available. And I came back the next day when it was discounted, got it for $27.
Wow, great light.
Great. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to see that battery, that big old black and gray battery hanging down there too.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Is the battery holding charge?
It's not a battery powered one. It's got the power supply plug into the wall.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You realize how old this is?
Oh yeah, this is like 1960s technology. When I saw the cable on it, I said to myself, "Hey, I've seen this on communications gear when I was in the Army back in the 70s."
Yeah, that's very cool. I've looked for them on eBay. I've never found one that was in the condition or the price that I wanted to pay. But love to have one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a Norman 800 pack. That's my next purchase on eBay. Because I've got two heads and two not soft boxes, beauty dishes. Just my Norman 2000 pack gave up the ghost. Piece of crap, man. I mean, that thing, after 41 years, it died. I mean, who's, geez.
Yeah, well, this is solid state from when solid state was really solid.
Yeah, no kidding. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautifully
Thank
done.
you.
Good shot.
Thank
Lots
you.
of good production value. I appreciate that. Kevin, there you are. You're already ready. Look at you. We got the knives.
Yep.
Oh, you set up the knives before you cut your veggies.
Yes.
Well,
I had to,
Are
the,
they-
the cuts weren't as clean as I'd like on those veggies.
are they tilted? You have a little piece of like tape or something below them, or
I do, yeah. A little prop up behind them.
yeah, just to get the right angle on the blades here.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got to see these. If the
Yep.
knife you're shooting has these or the stripes or something, you've got to show them because that's part of the knife design. You don't want that to blow out. So behind the scenes shot would be this one. I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of this light back here because of the funky shadow it's doing right here, Kevin.
Yeah.
Now, why did you put that light back there, though? That would be my question.
I just wanted to add some pop along the edge of the, I shot it with a fill card back there, and it just wasn't popping out the back profile of the knife as much as I'd like.
Okay.
You know, and
Okay.
looking at it now in retrospect, I could have put a flag, you know, right just outside of the frame, just a 1-inch tall flag to you know, as you can see me pointing at the screen here.
Yeah.
You know,
I know what
off
you're
that
talking about,
top
right?
left edge there.
Yeah, just up here. Keep it off of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're coming straight across at it, and there's that thing it's leaning on, whatever
Yeah.
that is, throwing that long shadow there. Boy, the light up front is beautiful. That's the window light.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do with your speed light back there, if you want to just catch an edge, is to use aluminum foil. And a little gaffer's tape on the foil, then you take it all the way down to a tiny little sliver of light. Then you can actually move it in closer and aim that light. But I don't know, if you don't get the shadow here, I don't know if you're going to pick it up over here. Maybe it wouldn't matter, because by the time the shadow got down to here, we wouldn't see it anyway, because it wouldn't be any darker than the shadow of the board.
Mhm.
Like the composition, though. Like the composition. You've got this one bleeding off. You've got this one bleeding off. I would have made this bleed off right up there.
Hmm.
So they all three break that board,
Yeah.
that line. Yeah. Cool shot, Kevin.
All right. Thank you.
Very fun. Chris Nandwani. Chris, are you here? Kevin, Catherine Dunlop wanted to know, what did you use for the prop up?
Well, I work in the firearms industry, so what I used was a dummy round of ammunition and some blue, blue putty.
Okay.
One of the first things, any tabletop, go down to your local, junkyard or stuff and start pulling off aluminum cylinders and squares and tubes and stuff like that, anywhere from a 1/4 inch tall to 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need them to hold stuff, and blue putty is life.
Yeah. How many times did we use soda cans and
soda cans, pens, pencils,
80 to 200 zooms?
Yeah.
You're not using it in the studio anyway, so you might as well set it over there on the flimsy desk holding up a fill card.
Yep. Yep. If give me gaffer's tape, foam core, A-clamps, and blue putty, and I can change the world.
Yeah, no kidding. You could. Chris is not here. Chris, I like your light on top, sir. I like the way we're getting all this texture in here, so we see all the little places where this guy sits. And up top, However, we lost the front down here, and I white card sitting right down here, leaning up towards this, would have brought that back. That is too dark for this shot. That's pretty clean up here, and it looks like you've got your logo looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. All right. Ligia. Oh, look at that. Ligia. Are you here? Okay, so slow shutter speed plus strobe or continuous light, but slow shutter speed with oh, okay, she's trying to get in. Okay. I'm going to wait for her then. Ligia, are you here? We'll come right back. Thank you, Terry. Laura Bambenik. Great highlights, Laura. They're yeah, you got all of what this one, you got what brighter here, you got darker, but we see the top, we see the top, and then we lost the top. You're gonna have to put something below this, tilt it up just a little bit. So this reflects your softbox or your scrim as well, because we don't want to lose that, that tool. That one tool makes a big difference. First post, got a lot to learn. We all have a lot to learn, whether it's our first or our 400th or our 4,000th photograph. We all have a lot to learn. The yellow is a great idea. Popping all this yellow is really good. Just remember that these are actually reflecting your softbox or whatever it is you have above it. Let's see. Okay. Always remember, Laura, put the behind the scenes shot so we can see how you lit it. We got to tilt this one up to match these here. Good. Good. Is Ligia here yet? Ligia. No. Well, Zoom is up to its typical. All right, I'll come back to Ligia. I want to, if she's going to come on, I'll do it live with her. Locked out. Hold on, Terry McDermott. What is happening over there? You say you were locked out?
What is happening, Don, is that Zoom is asking for an update. So
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hi, Terry.
Yep. Yeah, a bunch of us, when we got signed in, then Zoom knocked us out and we can't get back in because it needs a code or something. And somebody finally posted a link, but we don't all know that yet.
Yeah, John did.
Yep, John McAllister. And so I'm trying to spell Luigi's name so that she gets the link, but she has a complicated name to spell.
Yeah, hold on. I'll get it for you here.
Luigia Cuevas. Luigia Cuevas.
It's on the page for the group. If you go down just near
but
the top.
I have to scroll back up and forth. So I got it spelled and I tagged her. So we'll see if she finds the link.
Okay.
Yeah, but Zoom knocked a bunch of us out. And so we're all over on the group page going, how do we get in?
Did you use the link that's over on the page?
Yep, we did. But Zoom knocked us out and then we couldn't get back in. But she's trying to get in, and we'll see if I tagged her, so we'll see if she can find it.
This one here, 5 Pacific, this one.
Yep.
Yeah, Don, this is Mike. I took the link that you just pointed to right there off the Lighting Essentials page and posted it as a reply in one of those threads. Or I think it was to Jay when they were having some trouble getting in.
Yep, to Jay.
Couple folks got in, and other folks are still struggling. I had the same thing happen as well. Pushed me for an update about 5 minutes till start time, and then it finally got me in.
I just posted reply to Ligia with that link.
Okay. If this happens and you can't get in, try the phone number. See if you can get in by phone. Okay?
Oh,
This
is there-
happens again.
Okay.
All right, next up is Pat Matthews. Patrick?
Hey, Don.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
All right, so we got the flame. Is that an actual shot of the flame?
That is actual flame tweaked. I tweaked the flame in Photoshop because what this actually is 3 different photos, because on the torch itself where it says Benzomatic is one direction. When you screw it on, the back side of the label happened to be that side of the canister.
Okay, yeah.
So I took a photo this way, spun it, so I got the front label instead of the back stuff.
Got it.
And then took me a little bit, but I had to reach in, turn the torch on. I ended up having to turn all the lights off to actually get a good exposure of the flame, and then went into Photoshop and had to play with a hue saturation layer to get it to where I wanted it.
Very nice. Very nice. I love the simple highlight up here, the negative, and the light, the highlights. These aren't really shadows; they're just simply unlit because it's chrome. I like all of this. I only have one slight little thing that I would, if I was standing there as your art director, I would have had you put a little black card over there so we didn't lose that edge.
Okay.
So that would be a black card from about there to there, just out of the picture. And then as that goes around the corner, it's going to reflect, because this is a shiny bottle. It's going to reflect what's ever over there, and it's going to be black. We're going to see that little black line. Very cool.
Thank you.
Lens?
50 millimeter, but I'm using on APC, so it's like a 75.
Yep. Very good. Very good. Oh, Kershaw. Tommy Howell. Tommy, you here?
Yes. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
So you found a nice beat up wood bench to put the knife on. The knife is used, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The blade looks really good. I think you could fix it from looking used. Well, maybe. Little things like this are really easy to fix. Boy, that's just a bump right there, right here. You could make this look pretty new if you wanted to. But I don't know if you get the shine back in the handle that the new one would have. So we'll just go with it as an everyday carry knife, and looks pretty good. What's your lighting? Oh, never mind. Got it right here.
So I wanted to try something different this week instead of using that softbox that I have. So I went outside in my backyard, and so I've got a black card to the left to block out the sun. And then I've got a big piece of styrofoam behind the knife, about right where your mouse is there. So that's giving that white edge on the top portion of the blade. I've got the white card to the right of the knife to light up the end of it. And then that white card that's just laying there, I was hand holding to get the reflection just right for the blade.
Okay. Looks pretty good. Why did you use the shade instead of using a scrim?
I do not have one.
Okay. Well, lighting up white cards is a great way to light. There's no doubt about it. It's a wonderful way to light. Let's back over here to the shot. And all of this looks really good through here. The only thing that, I'm getting internet unstable thing. So if if I lose you, if I freeze up, just stay there. I'll be back. The only thing that catches my attention first is the fact that this and this is the same color. Do you see that? Tommy?
Yes.
Yeah, and so what we have is we don't have a gradient across our surface. So the knife gets lost visually in here because it's kind of this way too. So what do we do? Well, are you Lightroom or Photoshop? Or
Capture One.
Capture One.
But I do have Photoshop as well. I can work some in Photoshop.
Yeah, well, Capture One's fine because it has the gradient tool, same one
Right.
lighting. I mean that Lightroom has. Yeah, I'd pull that gradient tool down here and just bring this down about 10, 12%.
Okay.
And then it's going to feel like this is nice and bright up here and this is dark. Or do it my most favorite way, which would be to darken the front so we have this feeling of light coming from the back. So if I look at this shot right now, I feel the light's coming from the back because of that. And if we darken that back there, which would be the typical thing to do, it might look okay. But I would say do the opposite and darken the front and let the feel of light come from the back.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Do you have Nick?
I do, but I haven't worked out of it in forever.
Okay, do you know what Vivesa is?
I do.
Okay, I would use Vivesa to put a little, do you want me to show you?
Sure.
Let's see if can I get that image off there? Boop, I can. I'm gonna put it right down here in the Photoshop. And then I'm gonna share Photoshop. I'm a big fan of Vivesa, by the way. I think it's one of the best little things around. So I'm going to take the Vivesa here, bring it up. And the thing about Vivesa is when you choose that place where you're going to work on the image, it only chooses the hues, the colors that are below it. So I'm going to grab the pool, control point, and I'm going to put it right about there. I'm going to bring this in just a little bit. Now, when I take the brightness up, it's only going to brighten that part of the knife there. Do you see that? It's not brightening the wood.
Right.
Because we didn't choose the wood. For the wood back here, I'm going to go and grab this one. I'm going to go on a little bit darker wood, and I'm going to brighten this whole area up just a little bit so we get that feeling of light. Come back up here to the darker area of the wood, drag this out so we got a nice big area, and I'm going to bring the brightness down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to hold the shift key, the option key down, and I'm going to drag this over to there. I'll grab it and grab the option. Come on, stupid Macintosh. Yeah. Drag it over here. Well, using the option key, I had to let go of it first. Now I'm going to drag a box around it. Group them. And now whatever I do to this one, I do the other one. So I've chosen this one. I'm going to take the brightness down just a little bit more. Right about there. I think I'll take the structure up just a little bit and say okay. Look at the difference.
Okay.
See how it feels more alive now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit more of the contrast for it.
Yep. Yep. It dances with the eye a little bit. All right. So back to the share of Chrome. Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, has anybody come in whose picture we've missed? Anybody? It's called, Kevin, it's called Nick, N-I-K. And it's offered by DxO software. It's very nice. I use it a lot. But I also do the same thing in Photoshop. It's more manual in Photoshop than it is in the Nick. All right, Bonnie Mitchell. Bonnie, you here? Okay. Bonnie, what I would tell you is I like your lighting here. I like the old knife, the beat up knife. It's looks like a very old utility knife, very clever. Your shallow depth of field defines the knife very well. I just want to see a little more contrast. I want to see it pop a little more. It looks like straight out of camera to me, because straight out of camera always looks like it needs to pop contrast in my eye, except certain times of day the digital capture works. But this one looks very soft. I like to see it pop just a little bit more. But nice shot, nice shot. Oh, even especially nice. You did it in the studio? Really? What? Studio shot, huh? Nicely done. Really nicely done. I thought that was outside for sure. Wow. Beautiful. Good job, Bonnie. Jay.
Yeah, hi, Don.
Hey, Jay, this is really cool.
Thank you.
Very high key.
Right.
Single light?
Used natural light going through a window shade, which is very sheer, and then a scrim in front of that. So there's a behind the scenes shot next to this one, if it's there. Yeah, there it is.
That's a lot of soft light there. I like this, Jay. This is a very unusual photograph. It is so high key. I like it a lot, man.
Yeah, I was playing with it with a card because if you just move it a little bit, things darken up. And so I've said, okay, I'll just try and get it to be the bright, have the pieces be the brightest I can make them.
Yeah.
So that's how I was able to get it to turn out, fortunately.
You took a little angle with the camera, right? So you're not quite straight down.
No, just slightly off straight down.
Yeah, slightly off, and that brightened up all the metal.
Mm-hmm. And these are 75 years old pieces, which is really phenomenal. They're my wife's father taught industrial arts in a high school in New York, and this was his tool set. Wow. And it just doesn't look like it was used at all. So it's quite stunning. There's a box that comes with it, and you put everything in the box. I didn't have I have the box off to the side. I thought it'd be a little too much to put it in. But yeah, and then
I can remember buying my first drafting table as a designer. I didn't use a lot of the calipers and things, but we had our own tools. With the straight, what was it called? The T square or something.
Right.
Slide down, and then we had all the Bezier curves on different tools. Really wild, beautiful. I like it, Jay. It's very unusual. It's just very unusual. It's soft. It's not bright white, yet it has a really high key feeling to it.
Yeah, I tried using a regular sort of stuff like setup, and it was just too bright. So that's why I used the window instead.
Yep.
And that behind it is the plans for my house.
Which you're living in now.
Yes.
Excellent.
So I thought that would be an interesting background.
Yep. Leisha, I see you just got here. Uh-oh, Leisha?
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
there you are.
in.
Okay, good. All right. So did you use strobe and long exposure, or is it continuous light and long exposure?
No, I have continuous light and long exposure.
Okay.
I have the how to, I think it's the previous image. No?
Okay.
There you go. You see the back is the continuous lighting?
Yeah.
And then I have a reflector. This is like a silver paper that I have, and it's shiny. So it reflects, it's gray color, it's kind of silver color, but it's shiny. It reflects, it's nice.
That's this one
That's why
here.
you got kind of the blue. What's that? Yes.
And these are white,
Yes.
just soft white. So
Yes. And I have one little piece in front of my camera to light up the Bell Howard label, because it was
Yeah.
kind of dark.
yeah, well, I'm glad you lit it up because it looks really good. It looks really good. And this is like a camping light, right?
Yes. I just couldn't figure out what kind of tools, and I had tools, but they were very grungy and greasy.
No, this is cool. This is really cool. Also makes me chuckle. I mean, Bell and Howell used to make high tech, well, for the time, slide projectors and all kinds of stuff. And now they're making camp lights. Hey, they stayed in business. Good for them. A lot of people didn't. Good for them. The highlights through here are really nice. The texture that we see all through it, we know what this thing feels like. I think it's very cool. Where is the smoke coming from?
From an incense, how do you call it?
Okay.
An incense stick. And
where is it?
it took me a while to get that effect. I had to shoot with the automatic trigger. So what I did, I ran it around and around several times. And I shoot and I shoot until I got the right effect that I wanted.
Okay, so this is a single shot then.
Yes,
Wow.
You had to kind of blue a little so it will stay. And another thing that I did, because it was dispersing, so I put a little car on top of the image so the smoke will stay. And I think that's why the little circle on the top did not move. So it didn't disperse as much.
Ah, okay.
And then
yeah.
I took the photo.
Yeah, well, you've got nice light running all through here. Highlights here, this highlight coming down and in here giving us this texture right here. Pretty darn nice shot.
Thanks.
And your setup shows that you're thinking lighting.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Good job. All right. Did we get anybody else in? All right.
Hi, Don. It's Sandra. I'm down at the bottom. I think I just put it in at the beginning, like you said.
Where are you?
I put it in during the class as you suggested at the beginning. Should
Okay.
be there, I hope.
Well, it'll be down at the bottom.
Yep, there it is. It's a dog clipper, the very last one.
Very last one. All right, good. All right, then let's check in with Ben Anderson.
Hey, Don, how are you?
Good, Ben. How are you?
Wonderful day.
What is the blue?
It's a piece of blue. So the two black foam core boards come together from the angle, and I separate them by about 3/16 of an inch and put a piece of blue painter's masking tape on the other side. There's a 24-inch softbox behind that slit in the gap in between the two black foam core boards.
Okay.
And so the yeah, I'm having a hard time with them. So the softbox is firing through the blue tape. So that's why you see the blue, and then because that's the end of the tape, now you see only the softbox's illumination coming through it above the drill, and then I spread the two foam cores at the bottom to get the light to disperse horizontally on the scene and to catch, because I was extremely concerned about catching the back turn beneath the cooling grids, if you will, because that would have gotten lost against the blackboard.
Okay. Okay. Do you plan on taking all these out, or?
No, I actually put them in.
Oh, you put them, okay. All right. Let's look at there's your gap. And then how are you lighting this guy, with just light over the top?
No, out of the frame, I have a 36-inch silver reflector that came out of my 5-in-1 kit.
Uh-huh.
And that was just held with a small boom arm.
Okay. And that's it?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
It's only about from the if you go back to the behind the scenes, it's probably no more than 3 or 4 inches. It's canted away, but it's the leading edge of it is catching the Ryobi side, and it's very close to the bottom dartboard.
Okay. The thing that I'm wondering where did this come from?
I'm sorry?
Where did this light come from? I can see this. I can see and feel the side light here from the reflector here. But where is this coming from? This is coming from the softbox up there, isn't it?
Well, on the black, it's coming. We're catching the texture on the chuck, but the highlights in the dwells of the drill bit are provided by the silver reflector. In my behind the scene, you can see the angle. It's almost the board is angled to put the majority, almost all the light against where we see Ryobi, the name.
Well, the little highlight here is on the back side. So the little highlight is that. The front highlight here, that's your silver board. That little absolute right there, specular, that's this light back up here because it's the inside of the drill bit. So at some point it's going to pick up this light back. That's nice, man. It's nicely done.
I wasn't even thinking of going around the back side of it. I thought when I saw it, I swore it was from the reflector.
Yeah. No, reflector's on the front side. That's the inside back part of the groove, and it's reflecting from back there. Angle of incidence, angle of reflection, and will drive you crazy when you're trying to find it. So always stop and go, okay, where's the angle to this? If you were trying to get rid of these and you were messing with this, nothing would happen. And you'd be like going nuts, right? And you look at it and go, wait a minute, that's that one up there. And just take your arm sometimes and just stick it in front of the light and move it around. And all of a sudden you'll see your hand move through here. So yeah, cool, man. Very cool. That's a cool shot. I like it. I like the idea with the blue tape very much. Very much. Graham.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Mr. Graham. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Yourself?
Good. So you got a nice blade set up there. Good spot for the logo. Clean. What? Let's look at your behind the scenes. Oh, we just saw your behind the scenes. That was this one. All right. So this is giving us that. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
As you can see, I mean, I'm outside. It's always really good diffuse light out there. I've just got space out there to do things at the moment. So, and yeah, that's just reflecting it. It's too dark without that. So I needed something just to bring some more light. where you see the dark spots on the blade without that light being bent over it, it's just way too dark.
Got it. We just got a little bit of this here. Again, though, the thing about still life is keeping the eye moving, and we got the same density up here of the wood as we have here.
Gotcha.
I want to darken. I think I'd probably darken this back here a little bit because it does feel like the light is coming from here. You see the shadow coming from the blade. I think I would just darken it back there. And again, not very much, just a little bit, just enough to feel it. So we have our eye doesn't wander off the back. And that's what happens with edges of photographs. You know, Ansel Adams used to burn the edges of his photographs 15 to 20%. He'd come in about this far and go around and just that little bit of burn. You really couldn't see it. You really can't see it if you look at one of his prints unless you know you're looking for it. And then you'll see it just gets a little bit darker right at the edge, comes in about this far. The reason is you want to keep your eye, your visitor's eye, on the subject and not let it wander off. And when we put a little bit of darkness up there, psychologically, we just don't wander off. You know, you could even bring it down here, but man, Graham, be so careful that it doesn't look like you burned an edge in. Okay. If we can see it, it's too much. We just need to feel it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I use about a 300 feather when I do that, 300 pixel feather.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. So it's always really soft and.
Yeah.
But yeah, I missed the top corner. I meant to put another piece of timber up there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. We got the texture of the blade, the texture of the cutting part of the blade is different because it's like porcelain or something, right?
I'm not quite sure what it is. Tungsten or something.
It's hardened and tempered.
What I did do with this, Don, it's actually 2 layers. The original one is pretty much this photo. But what I did do, we've got a spot mounted outside, really high to the back of this. So I took a second photo, and on the highlight, I've just popped the highlight a little bit with that light. So it's just blended in. I used Affinity Photo to do these. But yeah, same thing, just a blend mode with blend diff sliders basically, and only the highlight was affected. So it was very quick to do.
Very
and
cool.
then I think I reduced it to about 50% opacity.
All right.
So it's just a hint of it.
Good. Little production value there. Thank you, sir.
Well,
Joey.
Have a good one.
You too. Joey Harris. You out there, Joey?
Hey, Don.
How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. This is beautifully lit up here. It's kind of flat in here, but it's kind of flat. I mean, it's I don't know what do you do with this other than what you did. I think we need to pop it up a little bit. Do you have Vivesa?
No, Lightroom.
Lightroom? Okay. Let's say, what if we did this? What if we went into Lightroom and we took like this little area right here, come down here, painted this, right? And then just lighten that area. Little tiny bit, like 3 points, 4 points max.
Okay.
And then over here, maybe paint this in right to about there. And again, just about 4 points. That way we get a little movement across this big gray expanse here, which we really need to do. Then I would open up the letters of Ryobi, probably 10, just sort of, it's going to take you a while to paint them, but once you got them painted, then you just, you hit that slider and just like take them up maybe 10 clicks, maybe less.
Okay.
We don't want it to look like it's glowing, obviously, but this looks very good back here.
Thank you.
What did you do post-wise?
Post, I used the pen tool to mask out everything. Also, because I I didn't have the light. There's nothing filtering the light through, so I had to go in post and actually decrease the highlights a lot, so that way it wasn't super blown out on those edges.
Okay. I think when you took the highlights down, you opened up your blacks a little bit. Let's pull these blacks down a little bit, right? You see what's happening is you brought your highlights down because they were too blown out, right? But there's no contrast in our blacks, and we want to feel
Right.
be black. So let's pull that contrast back up in the dark areas. And by the way, when you do that, it might actually do what you need it to do here. You brought your highlights down, so I think we've got rid of highlights over here as well, while you were only really meaning to get them down over here. Did you do it globally, or did you do it like with a mask? Are you there, Joey?
Hopefully, I can go back in and mask out those specific areas.
I could hear you, Joey. I think I may have dropped out.
I thought maybe mine was going out.
I think Don's.
No, that's.
Here he comes.
It's after 6 o'clock, so everybody's turning Netflix on. All right, and you did a very clever behind the scenes here. How you lit this, really clever. You hung it over the light and then use this right up here. Yeah, I'll bet you have some good texture in there. You bring that back, bring the contrast back. I bet you're going to be okay, Joey.
All right, I'll do that, definitely.
Yeah, you just flatten it a little too much, global. Nice.
Oh, that's a ladder that's upside down?
Yes, sir.
That's interesting. That's funny. How did you think of that?
The saw was heavy, so I needed something that would be sturdy. So I looked around the garage, looked around the house, and the ladder made the most sense.
Well, it works.
He originally asked his wife, but she said no.
I didn't even go for it. I already knew the answer.
Absolutely. Some things you just think, no, that's not going to work. Nicely done.
Yeah. Is there
all right
concrete bags on the bottom, huh?
Charcoal.
Charcoal. Oh.
All right, Rob Henkel. Rob.
I am here.
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
Good, doing well.
We're down to the hardcore folks that have been here for an hour and 10 minutes waiting for they're not leaving.
That's right.
They're not leaving. Black tactical knives are tough. They're really tough because these blades, hard to pull them up. So you do have some nice highlights right here that I think is enough to sell the blade because you got the white edge to it. Okay. The shot needs a little cleanup. Do you know how to clean all this stuff up?
I haven't done any post on this, but if I do it in Lightroom, I can use an adjustment brush or something like that? Can I adjust exposure on that, or?
No, use the healing brush in Lightroom. What's it called, guys? Lightroom, healing.
Okay.
Is it called healing?
I see.
Yeah, we're losing. We're losing you, Rob. Hang in there. But yeah, see if you can clean that up.
Yep.
Yep. Very good. Lighting looks good now. When you,
I'm not 100% sure. Actually.
What's that? All right, I'm getting
Still
more
there?
warnings here from the internet folks. You still there, Rob?
I am still here.
Okay. I would also put some darkness, a little bit of a vignette around up here to pull our eye back to this tool. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be much, but just to bring it back. Very good. Your lighting is very good. Got your card in there. That looks good. Yeah. All right. Thinking about light. I love it. Thinking about light. Barbara Sherman.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Barbara. I really like the color one way better than the black and white one.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
It pops more. It pops
Yeah.
more. Yeah. My
Yeah.
idea was to do black and white to begin with, and then when I saw the color, I went, "Oh no, no." The
Yeah.
red pops. And again, I don't have a behind the scenes because I was doing light painting because I'm trying to do this because I'm trying to learn it, like I said a couple of weeks ago. So anything I have that I can do it on, I'm doing it to practice.
Well,
and
cool.
I used pretty harsh light on this one just because I wanted it to look really old and grungy and used, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, this kind of light brings out every scratch and
Oh, it did.
thing you can do. I like how you kept the light going back there. I like how you've got the edge lighting up front here, right in here. We don't lose anything. And I like how it comes around the corner. We never lose the edge because this stays darker than the background. And then when it gets too dark for the background, you introduce light behind it. And we never lose that corner, that edge. That's very clever. It's great lighting to do that. It's the best. It's the best.
And I did in post-processing on this one, I did up the clarity a little bit, which I don't normally play with too much, but I also added 2 different gradients. So I added a gradient map, like the uncolored metal, we'll call it. I kind of added a blue gold one to that. And on the red, I dulled it down because that front was really, really shiny. And so I added a separate gradient map on the red. And it's really the first time I've done a lot of gradient mapping on for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't tell that you did it. So it's.
Oh,
really,
good.
That's, yeah. I can't tell that you did it. So it just looks like a photograph to me. I like that.
Good.
Good job.
Thank you.
You bet. Matt Emick.
Yeah, I'm here.
Matt, I'm so glad you're here. This is just really cool, sir.
Thanks.
I bet this took you longer than a minute to do this.
Oh yeah. It took a while.
Yeah, I bet it did. So it's a magnet. Excuse me, my evening sneeze. This is a 2 strips of magnet. Is that what you got going here? And then the nails?
No,
or is this from a
they're
nail gun?
nails from a nail gun, so they're all strung together, and I was able to just sort of wrap them, and they stuck together, and I was able to just wrap them and drape them, and they all stay stuck together.
Very cool.
See the metal wires between the nails? That's what holds them together to load them into a nail gun.
Are they like just like slightly welded or to that?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Never played with a nail gun. Although after watching,
Yeah, I haven't either. They had the nails. I was in my in-laws' garage. Had to go out of town for an emergency and didn't have access to a lot. All the tools they have are really old and rusty. Wouldn't make good product shots. And they had these nails from a nail gun, but no nail gun. So the idea was these were forming a cage around the hammer, making an old school hammer obsolete.
oh, okay, I get it. Very cool. If you haven't seen The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, you can't really appreciate a nail gun.
Okay, I need to watch that. Seen a Lethal Weapon. One of the Lethal Weapons has a scene with a nail gun. But I
Yeah,
need to watch
yeah, yeah. This one's just pretty much the same. Bad guy meet nail gun. Nail gun win. Really cool. I love your lighting. You got lighting coming up from the floor in the back, right?
Yes. Yeah, I have it behind the scenes. It's like a spray light. And then I have a mirror and a white card in the front.
Very cool. I like what you did there. That's cool.
Thanks.
I like this because we've got front lighting here, and as we go up, it almost, I mean, it becomes almost like a gold statue up here. So many neat things happening. And it's all tack sharp, right? I can't really tell with it, but it's got to be tack.
It's F-16, so.
It's got to be tack sharp. Yeah, and you're shooting straight across?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, I was I didn't have a tripod. I was hand holding, so it might be as straight across as I could.
Yeah. Well, good. Good shot.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. All right, Sandra Hemming. This is a beard trimmer or something.
Well, dog groomer trimmer.
Oh, dog groomer. Okay.
On Lightroom, that's spot remover. I think you were talking about for touching up the.
Uh-huh. It's the spot removing
it's
tool.
called spot remover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm totally Photoshop when it comes to that, doing that kind of stuff. But I know Lightroom and Capture One both have excellent tools for doing it now. Excellent. Really like this little black line you got on the back side of that. Coming around to the shiny line here. We got light behind it, thank goodness. We've got the light here and the light there. And the logo looks great.
That was a lot of Photoshop cleanup. Yeah.
Is this, you got it behind the scenes? I don't think so.
I don't.
Okay.
No.
So what's your lighting? Tell us your lighting.
It's one softbox above and behind almost.
Okay. Anything up front?
No.
Okay. 50 millimeter, or this 100 millimeter lens?
100 millimeter lens. Yeah.
Kind of pulling it all into this little area here. Looks good. Black on black, Sandra. It's always sexy, you know. It's always fun working with highlights and shadows. Yep.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Thanks.
Tom.
Hi, Don.
Tom. Hey, Tom. There you are. Yeah, I really like how you thought out the shot here. It's so well created. You knew you were going to put in a background in Photoshop, right?
Yes.
So you just needed something to cut this thing out in front of. So you used that. You didn't brighten this background or anything like that. You didn't have to. Added a little, made sure the shadow was there from the PLM. Now this is the only light you're using for this. Am I correct?
Yep, there is. The only other thing is reflector front right out of frame.
Okay. So that is a huge light, folks. It's 64 inches across. And it's so close that we can see it in the picture here. So, you know, it's really about what, 2.5 feet above this set, 3 feet?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's
so
one
it's
big wrapper.
Yeah, it's just wrapping around. And what it's not wrapping around, it's bouncing off all the white. So all the white around it here is giving us all these beautiful highlights, like here and under here, back here. I love this. That's just the white it's sitting on right there. And he can do all this because he knew already in his head that he was going to cut it out. So surround it with white, get all the highlights that you can. Great job on the label, by the way. Label looks great. And then put the background in Photoshop. Very cool.
Yep, I kind of wanted to try to get a hero shot, you know, where kind of looking up a little bit at it and have it shooting out into space. And
yeah, it looks great. It looks like you used a slightly wide angle lens because we're seeing the top of this, but we're seeing the underbody of that.
Yep, it was 24 to 70, pretty close to 24.
Okay. The only thing that I don't really care for, and again, it's a personal thing, is this white coming forward here. I just make the circle there and put the shadow in as gray.
Okay.
I wouldn't have white coming forward. Yeah. That's probably an easy fix because I have a feeling the shadow's on its own layer anyway, right?
Yeah, no, actually it's 3 layers. There's one solid, whatever that color is Ryobi uses in the background. And then the white is its own very feathered circle, and then a cutout drill. But the drill includes the shadow.
Yeah, but does it include the white?
Yeah, I actually did. I probably need to just go in with the sliders and do the I can't think what you call it, but on the layer where you split the slider and take
You know
out
what,
less white.
Yeah, you can do that. Certainly you could do that. The other thing is to just take a piece of dark gray, you know, a layer with dark gray, and just do this and draw a little thing on it like that. And
Blur.
then just Gaussian blur the crap out of it.
Yep.
And change the opacity.
Yep. But, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing too that I did that seemed to pay a lot of benefit was because of all that reflecting light, a lot of the black plastic and the silver metal reflected the green yellow color that Ryobi uses. So I sponge desaturated them in the Lightroom to get back the true grays and
Oh,
blacks.
good.
Yeah, worked out pretty nice.
Good. Yeah, Ryobi uses a very striking color.
Yeah,
But,
I don't know.
but if you're on a set, if you're on a construction job, you're looking for your drill, you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
you'll see it. That's for sure. Very cool. Good job, Tom.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's the last shot. Did I miss anyone?
I think Catherine has put one up now. If you do a refresh, Don.
And mine is probably at the end somewhere.
Yes, I added it during the class.
Okay. All right, so now we're having this issue. I can't get back to the album. I'll have to go manually back to the album here. It's not a big deal. Facebook is still working on the code to make a back button. Did you see where New Jersey is looking to hire COBOL programmers? If you're ever wondering why New Jersey is New Jersey, it's because their state still runs on COBOL or COBOL or whatever you want to call it. Oh my! I don't think I've touched COBOL since 1993. I wasn't all that good at it, but I remember it. All right, Catherine Dunlop.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, is this your behind the scenes shot here? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, who else were we missing? Someone else said something.
Terry, mine's missing too. I put it in the album, so it should be towards the end of the album, but I didn't see it when you scrolled through.
What is the picture of, Terry?
Chiropractic Tools, the activator.
Huh.
No, I don't see it. I put it in the album on for what today was.
You did, huh?
Yep. And it was at the very end, but now I don't see it. A lot of these weren't in it when I put it in.
Ah, I know what you did.
I put it in the album before you picked it up?
No.
Oh,
I'll
I
bet
put them in the
you-
wrong. Oh,
You
I
put it in the wrong album.
I did. I put them in
You put it in
April.
this one.
Yes, I
Yep.
did. Sorry. I
Yep.
thought that was,
All right, let me go and grab yours first before we get into the
so we
other
don't
one.
lose me. Okay.
Um,
Right there, the next to the last one, that one.
right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that one.
Oh, that's pretty. That's really pretty.
Oh, thank
Very pretty. Love the little back highlight. Little things like that get me excited. That is really cool.
Oh, I
Because
tried really hard.
it just makes the shot work so well. The shallow depth of field, that's personal choice, but you've done it well, so it works well. And then all this sort of out of focus red stuff, we don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
chiropractors might know. I love the way when you're lighting, I love the way we get this reflection down here, and then we get that reflection that goes up underneath this tool. We got a bright light on the top against the dark red, and we got a dark color down here against the highlight. Little things like this really make your still life stand out.
Cool.
Very well done.
So I've been trying to learn. I had and I don't have a behind the scenes picture, but there was a big diffuse light window behind me. And then in front of me, those are blocks that you put under somebody's hips at the back. And I had a big mat board leaning forward towards us to try to bring this little light along the top of the activator.
Okay. Very cool.
Thank you. And they were
Very cool.
the other tools of chiropractor. And I just mostly wanted to focus on the activator and imply the others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good.
And originally I kind of wanted to try to make the table and the blocks show, but it was too confusing. So I just kept it as it is. So.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to simplify it down.
Yep. Thank you very much.
You bet. Whose is this? Stacy Tyler. Stacy, are you here? Not here. Stacy, this is just a really lovely shot. Your texture, the color, everything about this is really, really nice. Really well done. Really, really well done. Whose is this? Mario. Nice shot, Mario. Great texture over here. That little bit of light, the texture coming through here. This looks very good. Very clean. Very, very clean. Beautiful. I remember Mario said he was going to be asleep. He's working and nice, Mario. I like the other one. I love that thread shot very much. And this one is okay. And we need some backlight on this, Mario. Need some backlight. Need some edges. We're losing edges, and this is all about edges up here. So we need some edges, white cards around it. Good. All right, let's get back, and we've got one more shot to do. Catherine Dunlop. Okay, Catherine. We don't have her behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, you do. Go back one.
We'll go back one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you're hanging a scrim.
Mm-hmm.
And you're shooting from here. So you're side lighting it with this one, and then you've got a little, what are these little LED lights? Is that what you're using?
Yeah, those are rotolights, the Neo 2s.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what I did on that one is I went ahead and I had a white diffuser on it, and then I used two little flags to put in front of it so I could just create a little strip of light. So it could, for the front side, because I was trying to get some light on the front of the bushings.
Yeah, this little
little
poppy guy right there.
Yeah.
And right here, that looks great. And then this, your big one here, lighting up the top, that's your diffuser.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, Catherine. You did a good job with this. This is a hard shot to do.
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah, these are not that easy to do.
Well,
Go ahead.
I studied a lot of people's setups over the week. So
yeah, isn't it great to have the behind the scenes shots to go to?
Yes.
Yeah, this is awesome. Got a little cleanup to do down here in your background.
Okay.
That should be very easy. You didn't lose any edge, and that's important. You didn't lose any edge. You got your scrim above the top of it so that we're getting light on all the tops of these guys. Little scratches like that, let's get rid of those. Just make this as perfect as it possibly can be. And that's a great idea, putting that little light down the side here that rounds everything up. It's very cool. Good job. Good job for a lot of reasons. It's really well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that look really good cropped in tight as well.
Yep. We saw Mark's earlier today. This is Jerry Campion. Jerry, you here? All right, Jerry, I really like what you're doing down here, trying to get a little sparkle off that, but we need a white card up here to get this to light up because it's just not lighting up. We need to get something above this thing so we can bring a little bit of soft light reflecting off this surface. Maybe even if it just goes down right there and maybe picks it up right here. I can see there's something back there, but it looks like it has texture in it. And a texture is coming into it. So you could bring this back up in Lightroom. I think it'd work really well if you pulled it up in Lightroom, but we got to bring that up. And then this is really cool. This little reflection off the wood here and the same thing here. So overall, on this one, I think it's a little dark, but we can certainly fix that in Lightroom. Okay. Did we get yours, Catherine? Did we get all the ones in this one? I think we did.
Which Kevin? Me? You got mine.
No, yeah, no, Catherine. Have we missed anybody? Anybody?
No.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to move over here to this to remind everybody that one of the most important things you can do when you're doing splash shots is to remember that you need something to go under your set. You'll get water, beer, wine, whatever you're splashing, you'll get it everywhere. Make sure your lights are covered with plastic. Make sure your strobe heads are protected. And make sure your camera is far enough away or protected by something that you don't splash stuff on it. As you start getting excited, swirling stuff around, it can get away from you. And you don't want it to get away from you and put a big, iced tea stain on the front of your scrim or your softbox. That would be very bad. So we're going to be doing swirling liquid. We got 4 photographers that were here today. We've got Greg Kidred and Carla McMahon. They were here the morning class. You got John McAllister here in the evening. These people are all really good photographers. I've linked to their website so you can go and see other splash shots and that kind of stuff, and plan your shots. We've got 2 videos, this one and this one here, where I actually deconstruct some shots I find on the internet, and some YouTubes that'll get you involved with Puppet Warp. Puppet Warp will really help you wrap the splashes you do. All right. Anybody?
Hey, Don, I do have a question.
Uh-huh.
I heard you comment about the coffee filters. Can you explain a little bit how to use them? Coffee filter.
Coffee filters?
Didn't you mention something about coffee filters? The coffee.
Oh, no. The coffee liners. So when you get a bag of coffee, you get a bag like of beans or stuff that's all ready to cook. You take the bag apart. The inside of the bag is a beautiful shiny reflector.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It is. It's really beautiful. It's softer than aluminum foil and brighter than a white card. It's a very shiny silver that has a little bit of a tooth to it. So you have a very bright, soft fill. It's pretty cool.
So the question is now, Derek is asking this, what brand of coffee?
I bought just about every brand, and it's always worked for me. Haven't gotten one yet that didn't. But
Okay.
if you want I know for sure Starbucks does. So That would be one. I'm not a big Starbucks fan, but that I know if I buy a Starbucks bag, it's going to have the shiny lining. Yep.
So you use the shiny part as a filter, as a reflector.
Yeah, as a reflector. I just
Okay.
take it and I paste it. I glue it onto a piece of cardboard so it's really, really flat, and then I store it. And I have probably 5 or 6 of them. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
they're
should
really,
try
really
that.
cool. You'll love the light bouncing off of them.
I should try that.
Yep. Yeah, work great for still life. They really work great for still life because you can just punch a little bit of something into it without it having that mirror look or the aluminum foil with the really bright specular highlight. It really works well.
Cool. Thanks.
You bet.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. If there's no other questions, I'm going to let you go. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe. This is supposed to be our bad week this week and next week. Arizona is looking to fare very well. I hope your state is as well, but we are way behind our numbers, which is a great thing. So stay safe. Stay the hell home. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Don.
Bye-bye.
Done. Thank you.
Everybody. Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
You too.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.